Hello, this is Matthew Williams and bringing you a small video to bring a bit of information I was told yesterday, which is kind of interesting, concerning a certain Charles Mallet. I can see that my eyes are looking a bit watery and looks like I've been crying. Haven't been crying. I basically get hay fever, which I brought on a little attack by mowing the grass earlier on. Grass is really bad for my hay fever, along with making crop circles, which is why I don't do it anymore. But I still know a lot of people who do, and I basically heard this incredible story which just blew me away yesterday, and doesn't surprise me. Nothing surprises me much anymore. But this little story was about a guy called Charles Mallet, and we all know him as the Nobbo parasite that has come in from nowhere, completely unknown of, and then sort of decides to set up a shop so he can sell stuff to people from the crop circle world. And of course, because he wanted to sell stuff and be successful, he has to then actually sort of alienate people from going anywhere else where they might actually enjoy themselves and spend some money. So he, basically tells everybody that the Barge Inn is a terrible place, terrible place, and you don't want to go there because it will infect you, and you'll become depressed because your life is not complete unless you have only the Silent Circle Cafe. The Silent Circle Cafe, where you can go and not have any information given truthfully about where the crop circles come from. Come to the Silent Circle Cafe today. So there's the little advert, and here's my Robert van der Broeke experience. Oh my God! Look, I'm having Graham Birdsall is appearing on my screen. My God! I have Robert van der Broeke type of powers that allow me to sort of have faces appearing whilst I'm doing it. Oh my God! How is this happening? Anyway, so this story will blow you away. Okay, and we're 2 minutes in and I haven't really got anywhere yet. Right, let's get on with the thing. Couple of people I know, there was Mike and Sue, who come from Wrexham, and they're crop circle researchers, and there was Andy Perker, who's also a crop circle researcher, and they basically, Mike and Sue went up to the Silent Circle Cafe, and they had heard that Charles Mallet had put on his Facebook something akin to the following type of words. I don't think I have the exact words in front of me, but I'm speaking in the third person from what I was told. But anyway, Charlie Mallet typed in on his keyboard the following words: Andrew Perker, I want to see you, because if I see you, I will be taking you up the field and I will kick your head in. Right? This out of the blue on Facebook. So Charles Mallet is goading that if he sees Andrew Perker, that he will take him to some undisclosed location and beat the fuck out of him. Very, very sensible, very adult behaviour from Mr. Mallet, this sort of diplomat of the Silent Circle Cafe, where you don't talk about the truth with crop circles, and it's all quiet, so people can have a nice experience. Yeah, that Silent Circle Cafe. Yeah, so he's basically made this statement, and Mike and Sue read this on Facebook and went up there to confront him about why he had put such an inflammatory comment on Facebook threatening to attack Andrew Perker. And basically, when they brought this subject up, they were told in no uncertain terms that they were to leave the Silent Circle Cafe and leave the area. At which point, Mike and Sue pointed out to Charles that they were actually standing outside the Silent Circle Cafe on a road, a public road in the village of Yatesbury. So therefore, they weren't actually in the Silent Circle Cafe to be thrown out of it, because they were on the road. But this didn't stop Mr. Mallet, because apparently Mr. Mallet then said, I want you out of this area. Get out of this area. Go. I want you out. Go. And they said, well, we don't actually have to go, Charles, because we're kind of like on a public road. Do you know what a public road is, Charles? Have you perhaps got any idea what that means? And Mr. Mallet said, well, I'll call the police and make them get rid of you. Yeah? And they said, really? You're going to call the police and make them get rid of us where we're on a public road, Charles? And he said, yes. And he went and got his phone and machinated around and he said, right, the police are coming. The police are coming now. So you better get out of here because the police are coming now. But you. And it's like, oh, really? Okay. I think at this point, Mike actually admits freely that he said, well, you know what this makes me feel about you, Charles? It makes me feel like I want to maybe take you somewhere and have a very serious conversation with you. How does that make you feel? And he's like, oh, right, well, the police are coming now, right? And Mike did say that after he had been, abused in this way by Mallet, that he did actually let rip and say that. But whilst they were there, awaiting for these alleged police to arrive, Mike said, well, I'm going to ring Andrew Perker and tell him what's been going on here. So he rang Andrew Perker, and Andrew Perker was in the area. Strangely enough, he was actually in the area. And he said, oh, I'll come over to the Silent Circle now, and I will confront Charles myself, and I will ask him why he thinks that, he has the need to take me somewhere and beat me up. So Andrew Perker turned up within a couple of minutes, and he then proceeded outside the Silent Circle Cafe to have the conversation with Mr. Mallet and ask him, why are you saying that you're going to take me somewhere and kick me in then, Charles? What are you thinking of? And Charles is like, well, you can get away from this area as well. You're all banned. You're all banned from this area. The police are coming and they're going to get you away and they're going to take you away. And it's like, oh, okay then. Oh, yeah, fucking, very, very, very well done, Charles. Very well done. And as they were standing there, lo and behold, a police car did turn up. And a lady police officer got out and asked what was going on. And the whole situation was explained in great detail by Mike and Sue and Andrew Perker, the whole Facebook thing, threats that had been made. And then she went and spoke to Charles Mallet, and she came back and she said, Jesus Christ, words to the effect of, Jesus Jehoshaphat, you are all like a bunch of children. Why don't you stop this and stop behaving like this is a frigging playground? Yes, something like that. And she said, I suggest that you all go your separate ways because you're obviously, winding each other up, and there could be a breach of the peace that could go on here. So I all suggest you go on your separate ways. And Mike and Sue said, well, why do we actually have to leave this area? We haven't done anything wrong. We actually haven't done anything. And, basically we're not causing any trouble. That's the hay fever. We haven't caused any trouble. Andrew Perker perked up, as Andrew Perker might perk up. He perked up with, well, I'm actually wanting to go in the church. And it's a public area and I can go in the church if I want to. And she said, well, yes, it is a public area. And yes, you have the right to be here to visit the church if you want to. But, I'm just concerned that there's going to be some sort of altercation here. So I'd rather you all separate. And then Mr. Charles Mallet piped up and said, he wants to come to the church. Ha 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 ha. Well, he's a religious freak. A religious freak. Nice one. In front of the policewoman, he's a religious freak. So now Charles has instigated a religious hate act in front of the policewoman, and basically the policewoman said, right, you all separate, move your separate ways. Yeah? But hang on a second. Mr. Mallet is in a church. He is in a church selling items to do with crop circles. Okay? And being in the church, he is quite proud of telling people that the money for which he pays to rent the shop in the church that he's selling this materials with, it goes back to the church, which they then use to repair their roof and, do extra things that they need to do, their church-like behaviour. And therefore, Charlie Mallet is taking part in promoting and helping a religious institution called the church, yeah? And he's then criticising somebody who says that they want to use their sort of constitutional, not that we have a real constitution, but their pseudo-constitutional right in order to visit a church. He accuses somebody who wants to visit a church as being a religious freak when he's working and selling stuff from a church. I'm running out of stupid things to say about Charles Mallet, but the guy has always been a dickhead. Yes, he's always been a dickhead. He thinks that he and only he can really tell which crop circles are real and which ones aren't. Sadly, I don't think his record on that front has actually proven that he can tell anything apart from anything. Yeah, so basically, to draw it to a close, Andrew Perker, Mike and Sue, and possibly anybody else who might want to go into the Silent Circle Cafe and dare ask the simple question of why Charles Mallet feels he has the right to physically threaten harm against other people. If you were to ask that question, you're going to get banned. Okay? You're going to get banned and possibly the police called in order to deal with Charles Mallet's fucking baby, infantile, 2-year-old, dickhead tantrums. So, I couldn't wait to put this on Circle Makers TV. I thought, no, it really should get out there. And strangely enough, later on, the next day, after I'd heard about this, it went on yesterday, and today I was in the pub and I was approached by a few people who told me that there was a new crop circle. I ended up flying my aircraft over it, and it basically has a strange worm, like a little worm, coming out of like a Stargate type of thing, like a sort of Stargate bits and pieces, but it's actually got some strange writing around the edge, and I don't know what that means. But anyway, I was chatting to somebody about this, and they came up and they said, "Oh, you know what that's for, don't you?" And it's basically got I forgot to say, it's got a little head on it with a happy smiley face and 2 little alien eyes. Happy smiley face and 2 little stalks, and on the top of the stalks, on each stalk, there's a little heart. So it's got what they call teeny boppers or whatever, like teeny bopper type things coming off its head. And I was told, can't say who by, but I was told that crop circle was created last night by somebody as a reaction to Charles Mallet's behaviour at the Silent Circle Cafe. And it was specifically done to make a mockery of Charles Mallet. Now, I don't know, but I was told that writing around the edge is somehow decipherable to be a rude message towards Charles. And I don't know whether that's true. Obviously, this has come from a third-party source, so, I don't know whether that is true or not. But it's interesting how a fuck you type crop circle, which is very silly, and, obviously is humorous, has appeared the night after, basically all this crap with Mallet banning people at his store. So it would seem to sort of fit. It would seem to fit. So I think the information is probably correct. And this weird crop circle, which takes the piss, was created specifically to go fuck you to Charles Mallet. So all I can say is, to whoever made that, and whoever you are, well done. congratulations, you have a thumbs up from me, and well done. I think that's excellent. So hope you've enjoyed the story. 15 minutes has been probably wasted in something that could have been said in 3 minutes, but this is me, and you have been watching Matthew Williams. Goodbye.